Hello, welcome to Dundrol's podcast. I'm your host Justin. So today we're doing a commentary track for Vampyr 1942. This is more of a reaction video. I'm watching the film on BitChute, but you can watch it for free on YouTube. The film came out in 1942. It's a black and white silent film. It's a horror fantasy. It's an hour and 15 minutes. It's directed by Carl Theodor Dreyer, with music by Wolfgang Zoller. This is a German film, by the way. It stars Nicolas de Gunzburg, Renee Mandel, Harriet Gerard, Gian Hieronomico, Sybil Schmitz, and Maurice Schultz. So this film came out like 10 years after Nosferatu. I don't know. From what I've read, the description, it sounds very much like a Dracula kind of story. Like, I don't know if this movie, it was like a thing where all they wanted to do, it was like a lot like Nosferatu, where they wanted to make a Dracula film, but they couldn't get the rights, so they just made up their own thing. I have no idea if that's what this is, or if maybe it's homage to Nosferatu. I don't know. We're gonna press play and 1, 2, 3, go. So I haven't really watched any silent films, to be honest. They're not really my thing. I'm just doing this because, you know, this is just gonna be like, you know, a bonus video for Vampire Week, where last week I reviewed a bunch of vampire films. I hope the subtitles are in English. I haven't checked. They better be, or I'm gonna have to redo this whole thing and like find another video. Man. So we're just getting like introduction on who's playing who. This is opening credits. So I've never seen this film again. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of silent films, but I thought, hey, it might be fun to do a reaction to a silent film, provide commentary for a silent film, because there's not a lot of. I looked, there weren't any commentaries for this film, so, you know, I'll be cornering in on the market there. Man. So, like, I do know some things about the film. Like, there's a lot of cool shadow play in the movie, right? What the fuck? This isn't... Oh, like a contagious disease. Okay. So there is English subtitles. Okay. At first it was like fucking French or German or some shit. It looked French to me, I don't know. Wow, they're keeping this up, I guess, for the slow readers. Now it's German again. Okay. I guess people didn't know how to, like, do subtitles on film back then, so they just... Oh, we'll just have two sets of subtitles. One for English speakers, and, like, you know, German speakers. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of cool shadow play in the film, which inspired one of my favorite vampire films, Bram Stoker's Dracula, which as a kid wasn't one of my favorite vampire films. Like I said, my favorite vampire films when I was a kid, like I mentioned in the Vampire Week reviews, was John Carpenter's Vampires, the 2001 film The Forsaken, and Queen of the Damned. But yeah, as I got older, yeah, Bram Stoker's Dracula, I realized what a fucking awesome movie that is, because you had it's a huge, like, one of my problems with the horror genre is not a lot of epic horror, you know, adventure films, and that's pretty much what Bram Stoker's Dracula is. Sorry, I just took a swig. The main actor looks a lot like H.P. Lovecraft. Have you ever seen photos of H.P. Lovecraft? Which a lot of people give H.P. Lovecraft a lot of crap because he was a racist, apparently. Like, you're telling me there, like, not a lot of people were racist back in 1920 or whatever? That's so dumb. And apparently, he was, like, in the end of his life, he was, like, you know, people say he was actually, you know, regretful of his, like, hateful opinions. Which, I don't know. So there's, like, a dude outside with a scythe for some reason. Did they explain why this guy is here? Apparently in the description or whatever, it said like he stayed at a hotel in France, so this is technically France, which very medieval looking painting up there with the skeletons hanging out with like the people at a party. You can almost hear people talk in this movie. So they did have like... So I'm a little confused on silent films. Because like you had, by then, like people had like... You know, people's main form of entertainment before there was TVs, they had radio plays and stuff like that. People listen the radio plays on the, you know, radio and music. So how come they didn't use like, oh my god, that guy has no eyes. Did they find a guy like that, or did that's prosthetics? Oh, it looked like they just found a guy like that. Oh my god. Here's subtitles again. We got the German one first. David Gray felt that the unbelievable had taken... It's his name's Alan Gray had taken possession of him. He tried to deny the impending fear and horror, but it touched him even in his restless sleep. His name's Alan Gray, but they said David Gray? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's... Yeah, it's Alan Gray. The character's name's Alan Gray, but it's called David Gray. So the English subtitle's wrong. Oh my god. Yeah, we hear knocking on the door. So they did have audio, like, equipment, audio recording equipment, right? So how come, like, they, in the, like, silent films, they didn't just have people, like, you know, they didn't just record people talking in the film? Why did they have to use subtitles? I don't get it, man. Because, like, they had, like, yeah, they played songs over the radio, and, like, you know, audio plays and shit. So, yeah, they obviously had... Oh, maybe they didn't have audio recording equipment, but they had audio broadcasting equipment. Maybe that's why. I don't know. That might have been. I don't know. No, because you can listen to like old radio plays on the internet. I've listened to like old shadow radio plays from the 30s. So yeah, they had audio. What did the dude say? It wasn't fucking English. It wasn't fucking German. So we're watching the... There was a subtitle on the screen, but it was in German. What the fuck, dude? I know some German, but like, yeah. I know very limited German. Stell? What does Stell mean? Quiet? Fuck. The reason why I tried to learn German decades ago, because I wanted to... Me and a couple of friends were planning a trip to Germany for Oktoberfest. The old dude I thought that had no eyes, he does have eyes. It's just that his eyes are so dark and because of the shadow, because his eyes are so recessed into his skull, they're shadowed, so you can't see them on the black and white film. Oh my god. But yeah, me and my friends were planning a trip. We're going to go to Germany, so I tried to learn. I tried to learn German, but you know, we end up never going. I'm sure Oktoberfest is overrated. To be open only in the event of my death. So how come there's some, like there's title cards with English subtitles, but why are there no English subtitles when people are talking? God damn it! I should have checked this version of the movie, but it was the thing where like it's already late, and I was busy. Like I spent all day trying to finish the a book I was reading for a book review, The Fifth Sorceress, and I just uploaded it on YouTube. And by the time I was finished that review, it was already 9:30, and usually I'm at bed by 10, right? So I'm like, let's get this done today. Fuck it, because tomorrow I'm gonna be too busy, you know, reading my next book, which I was gonna. The story of David Gray's unearthly encounters is substantiated by his studies of centuries of superstitions and hallucinations stemming from devil cult and vampire something. I didn't read that, but they keep calling him David Gray when his name is supposed to be Alan Gray. Oh my god. But yeah, like tomorrow I'm reading, like, you know, I'm going to be working on my next book review, so I'm probably not going to be doing a lot of movie reviews. So that's why I wanted to do this commentary. I know we're going to see the creepy shadow play. That's a creepy, I don't know if that's an angel statue or like I don't know. You can't tell me this guy doesn't look like H.P. Lovecraft. He's tall and lanky, has the long face. Same hairstyle. There's a lot of like old there's like a lot of old like H.P. Lovecraft movies from like the 50s and 60s and 70s that, you know, I kind of want to check out, but I just have a feeling they're gonna suck. Oh, that dude has a peg leg. Okay. So I was like, why does one leg look thin and one looks normal? And it's oh, he has a peg leg. Okay. I thought we were getting, like, you know, they were starting with the weird shadow play in the movie, which is like one of the, I hear, is like the best things of this movie. Oh, this movie also inspired the title of a recent vampire RPG, Vampyr, which I played a little bit of it. I don't know, I don't like it. Oh, no, we're already getting the. He was following that guy's shadow. Oh my! We already get. Oh, we're already getting the weird shadow play. That's cool. It's like a one-legged soldier with a fucking French shoulder with a peg leg. Is World War I going on during this like movie? I thought World War One was over by the 30s, right? I can't remember. No, or was it starting the 30s? When was World War One again? We didn't learn enough about World War One, to be honest. I mean, there was a lot of shit they didn't teach. In school, they gave you brief history on World War One, never really telling you the exact cause of World War One. But like, when it came to wars, they focus a lot on World War Two, and it's like to the point where like I didn't even know, like I wasn't until after I graduated high school that I know about the whole like Afghan war in the 80s, right? With the Russian invasion of Afghanistan that caused all the recent bullshit in the last like 20 or 30 years, right? With the whole Middle East. I didn't learn about that shit till like after fucking high school, man, watching movies and shit. That probably should have been taught a lot more than like fucking World War II, man. I'm not saying that you shouldn't teach kids World War II, but you gotta teach kids the most recent wars, not fucking skip that shit for shit that happened over 70 years ago or whatever. Holy fuck, man. And they even like teach us that much about like the Korean War or the Vietnam War too either. There are a lot of crazy shit that happened during the Vietnam War. Oh my god. A lot of crazy shit was going on. Because it was like the first... It was the thing where like they were fighting like small militia groups. So they didn't really know what to do against like guerrilla tactics. So they were trying a bunch of bullshit. Like psychological warfare, chemical warfare, you know, to the point where like soldiers who would like spread the Agent Orange shit would have kids, and their kids would fucking be born without fucking genitalia and shit. They had like birth defects and shit. Oh my god. That guy is the village doctor. I had to check the credits. I mean the Google thing. Okay. I really should shut this recording off because it's like the title cards. There are English title cards, but like no English subtitles, man. So I have no idea what they're saying. Oh, and if people were wondering why we wanted to go to Germany for Oktoberfest, there was a popular movie in the early to mid 2000s. You might have heard of it, Beer Fest. we loved that fucking movie, man. That's why we wanted to go to Germany. I'm sure Oktoberfest is not as, you know, awesome as they made it look like in the Beer Fest. Especially the unrated version. Or like there's like at the fucking thing they're doing a wet t-shirt contest. And the creepy German guy is like, "It's Oktoberfest, kiss each other, yeah." Like the two girls make out. Oh my god. Yeah, I doubt they're having wet t-shirt contests in fucking October. That was a very MTV fucking thing to do. Well, man, remember like when MTV would like, you know, show footage from spring break, and there would be like wet t-shirt contest. They would film wet t-shirt contests and put on fucking daytime TV. Fuck, man, I missed like the fuck, man. It sucked I was only a little kid in the late 90s, early 2000s, and I couldn't appreciate how fuck like shit like that. Aw, man. More shadow play stuff? When do we fucking see a vampire, man? More title cards. We can solve life's mysteries or define the secrets which are hidden from the light of the day. Vampires can never find peace and therefore must be destroyed to free mankind from their haunting powers. But like in the German subtitle, it said like Alan Gray's name. So obviously, like, what the fuck? Did the English title card just make shit up? I guess. My God, this is like when you're trying to watch, when you try to watch like Japan, like this is like when I tried to watch the Devil Man live action movie Raw with those subtitles. It's almost that the English title cards make it worse because they're clearly not telling you the same information as the fucking German title cards. So I'm guessing she's a victim of some vampire. I thought blood in German was spelled B-L-U-U-D. I don't know, whatever. He's going to go fetch a doctor. I think that's what he said. I understood like 2 words there. Okay, we're seeing this. What the hell? Is the shadow of a soldier going to kill somebody? Oh my god, it killed that dude. So what, the vampire... I mean, the title card said the vampires have haunting powers. So what, the vampire took command of the French soldier's shadow and had the shadow shoot a guy dead. What the fuck? That's crazy, man. Holy shit. Gave him a heart attack or something. I don't know. It's like the Death Note. Don't worry, H.P. Lovecraft is on the case. He's gonna solve this murder. Oh, he's not dead. Okay. Man, there was like two made-for-TV movies by HBO in the 90s where it was like in an alternate world. It was like 90s like noir films, noir stories, but with like H.P. Lovecraft as this like detective in this world where magic existed, but he couldn't use magic, and he solved like magic crimes. And like the first movie, they had like what's his name, Fred something. His name Fred Willard, not Fred Willard. The Fred something. He was in Tremors, and he was in Remo Williams, and he was a villain in a Naked Gun movie. And then the sequel, they got fucking Dennis Hopper to play the H.P. Lovecraft's detective. They couldn't have picked actors that looked nothing like. They picked like actors that looked nothing, that couldn't look nothing like fucking the real H.P. Lovecraft. Which there was this like episode of Supernatural where they had an actor play H.P. Lovecraft that looked pretty cool. They were like setting up that we need a new villain after, like, you know, they defeated Satan in the series. They needed a new villain, so they were like setting up that they were gonna fight the Elder Gods or whatever from H.P. Lovecraft. And obviously they didn't have the budget for that, so they ended up not doing it. I think. I don't remember. I stopped watching the Supernatural a long time ago. Supernatural! At first, you start to think, oh, it's going to be better than, like, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Because, you know, you got two male guys, and there's no, like, two male protagonists, and none of the feminist bullshit that was in... feminist female empowerment bullshit that was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And Supernatural ended up being fucking worse. than fucking Buffy the Vampire Slayer, because they had no budget for like, they would fight monsters, but all the monsters conveniently were able to take up human forms, man. It was such bullshit. That's why I know people hate the Supernatural anime, but in my opinion, the Supernatural anime is a million times better than the fucking TV show, because they actually were able, because it was animated, they actually could have monsters that actually looked like monsters. Right? And it's so funny, because it's like, it was like an anime, the human looking monsters tend to be the most powerful looking monsters, but in like the Supernatural anime, it's like the opposite, where like all monsters look like humans, and the only, like, the most powerful monster in the Supernatural universe was the one dude with the yellow eyes or whatever, or he was the main demon, right? But yeah, like, Supernatural sucked. The anime is way better. But what sucked is, like, they couldn't get the actors from the TV show the voice of their characters from the movie. Sorry, the voice of their characters in the anime. But but sometimes they would, but they could never get both actors to work on the same episode. So there would be episodes where they would have, like, where they would have Jared, like, the actor plays Sam, and then there would be episodes where they were able to get, like, you know, Jensen, and they would have been just better off. And it made the anime so distracting that they would have just been better off if they said, fuck it, fuck the actors from Supernatural, we just use the the sound alikes we got, because they did a good job actually. And like Jensen, even though he's a decent voice actor now, he's done decent work with the DC films, like animated films, like Under the Red Hood and like Long Halloween. His voice over work in like the Supernatural anime was fucking terrible, dude. The other guy was way better. No way that book was in that parcel. That book's way in that package she had. It totally looked like there was a book in there, but then like it cuts. It cuts, and then like you see him holding the book that was inside the thing. That book is way too big to fit in that thing. 20 years ago in the village of Court Empire, Pierre, a fiendish epidemic claimed 11 victims. Despite the medical terms attached to the deaths, everyone knew that a vampire was at large. Oh my god. Vampyr. That reminds me of this movie I watched a long time ago. I'll talk about it after this. The English title cards are done. Wait, what was that page in English? Oh fuck! I ignored it because I thought they were gonna put up a title card. God damn it! No, it was probably French. That old lady nun looks like Peter Cushing from fucking Hammer Films. Oh shit! She disappeared. No, it is German. Okay. By night, these satanic creatures loot the homes of the living in their search for victims. A wound on the throat, like the bite of a rat or a cat. These are the damnation marks, then death. Bite of a rat or a cat. Vampyr. By the way, that reminds me. What the fuck is taking the fucking second Vampire the Masquerade game so long to come out? Because then Vampyr come out like like not that like it came out like a year or two before that game announced, and that was like 8 years ago or something. Or Vampyr came out around the time it was announced. Fuck, man. They're taking their sweet time, man. And I know there's going to be a lot of SJW bullshit and Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2, but I still want to play it, man. Not a lot of vampire RPGs, dude. On consoles. They should, hopefully if Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2 does well, maybe they'll put out a collection and put out like Vampire the Masquerade Redemption and like Bloodlines 1 out. That would be cool. Like they did with the Shenmue games, the Dungeons & Dragons games. I love how they put out the Dungeons & Dragons games all out on consoles, and then they did that for the upcoming like Baldur's Gate 3 game, and then it never came to console. It just was PC only, or like Steam Deck or whatever. It's like, fuck you. What was the point of putting out all those Dungeons & Dragons, all those computer RPG Dungeons & Dragons games on consoles? and you didn't even put Baldur's Gate 3, which it probably that game I heard sucked. That was basically like Larian Studios like last two fucking RPGs, right? But still, man, I wanted to play fucking Baldur's Gate 3. That fucking trailer they put out looked fucking awesome with the fucking what are those fuckers, those squid mage looking motherfuckers called again? God damn. Those looked cool. So, like, with a name like Alan Gray, you would think our character is supposed to be English. But he speaks German, and he's like in a fucking French village where everybody speaks German. Ah, whatever. Oh, he's sitting down to read more pages from the history of vampires. Vampires are recorded in the histories of all countries, fiends who ascend from their graves to suck the blood of the young and the very young for their own morbid sustenance. That chick's pretty cute. Not the one in the bed, the one that was helping the nun or nurse or whatever. Is that guy in drag? Look how much taller he is than the chick. Oh, we can't find an old woman to play this nurse. Get some, like, get a shaved old guy to do it. Fuck it. Oh, her teeth are pointed. She's a fucking vampire. Man, that reminds me of there was this funny movie I watched years ago called New Kids Nitro, which was the sequel to New Kids Turbo, which is, people don't know what New Kids was. New Kids was like this TV show in the Netherlands, right? Which was like a sketch comedy show, and they had these characters of like Euro trash, like rednecks that had mullets, street race, would do ecstasy, and would like listen to like 90s Eurobeat techno music. And then like in the second film, the group of characters, which they like to get drunk and they like party and shit. And in the second film, the town that they live in gets invaded by zombies, right? This was when the zombie craze came back in like the 2010s, and like you had shows like The Walking Dead. And like, they had like, the zombies show up, and the redneck characters are like, oh, they're fucking vampires. They think the fucking zombies are fucking vampires. Fucking awesome movie. And like, the fucking, they're getting overrun by the zombies, which they call vampires. So the main character, the main leader of the group, is like, who lost an eye, has like an eye patch. He has this blonde mullet, right, and mustache. He's like, I know how we can win, and he challenges the zombies to a fucking street race. And yeah, and like And a lot of great techno music in the New Kids films as well, by DJ Paul Elstak, who did that Promised Land song. But yeah, but whenever I hear that's when I first heard the term vampire, right? Was from that New Kids Nitro film. So like whenever like the characters say vampire, it just reminds me of that stupid joke from like the New Kids Nitro film, where they call the zombies vampires. uh. By the way, despite the fact that the film was like the New Kids Nitro film was made in like the Netherlands, right? It's a little bit in like, you know, politically incorrect with the every other word they say in like the New Kids films is koot, which means cunt in like Netherlands. There's a content calling each other cunt. Koot. Fucking koot. Oh man. And there's like a great scene in like New Kids Nitro. Oh, they found blood. Where like, you know, the one dude lost his girlfriend to this douchebag who lives out of town, and it's like that Simpsons episode where the Springfielders hate the people from Shelbyville. This guy came from like their version of Shelbyville, so like the guy, like the main leader, decides I'm gonna have a dance off with this guy at the rave. And like before they have their dance off at this rave, they all have to do their different. They all have to do like they have to take tablets of ecstasy, and the one dude's like tablet of ecstasy is pink. So like the one of the guys like, oh, that guy's ecstasy tablet is pink. He says something politically incorrect, and it's like, holy shit, they were getting away with that. In the village of Kislova, the vampire was in the guise of an old woman. At daybreak, the grave was open, and an iron rod thrust through her heart while she lay asleep. How her second... Oh, I didn't finish it. Fuck. So the vampire is like an old woman. Okay. Maybe it's that fucking nurse. that looks like a dude. Fucking Peter Cushing there. He's the fucking vampire. Sorry. I'm a little like... I was trying to... That noise I was making was me burping. I bought some... I was grocery shopping the other day, and I bought some store-bought like frozen pizza that the grocery store made themselves in this saran wrapped, right? And like the stupid shit, I looked at it today and I realized, oh, this shit's it's only good for like 2 days apparently. So I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta eat this now, or I'm gonna have to throw it out tomorrow. God damn it. So I ate like a whole pizza today, like a few hours ago. It was very small, and it was like $7 too. So I'm like doing the math. You know, I could almost get like a medium pizza for like $7. So it's like it's not really worth it to buy. Like I could like to buy like those like, you know, froze like the store, the in-store made like pizzas that they, you know, sell. But like, yeah, I wanted to try something new. It was very thin pizza. It reminded me of the... Look, that nurse is even taller than the fucking doctor. Is that a guy? I gotta look this up. Who plays the nurse? Doesn't say. Okay. That totally looks like a dude. He's checking her teeth. You know what else the nurse reminds me of? It reminds me of that like Three Stooges movie where like Larry David plays the nun at the orphanage. Oh my god. He doesn't even do like a woman's voice in that movie. He just like does his normal voice. Peter David, not Peter David, Larry David rules. When are we gonna see the vampires, man? We're like halfway. We're more than halfway through the movie, and we haven't seen like a single vampire. What is that stuff supposed to be? Looks like it's. What the fuck? Oh, he's going to. Oh, he's taking blood from H.P. Lovecraft and he's gonna put it in the lady, I guess? What does H.P. Lovecraft even stand for? Probably like Harry Paul or some shit like that. Henry Paul, maybe? I don't know. Imagine like H.P. Lovecraft's name is Harry Peter. What was transpiring, one thing seemed clear to David Gray. Human soul, fear death, called out for help, a helpless cry which compelled him to follow. They keep calling him David Gray. Even though in the German, like, fucking title cards, he's called Alan Gray. Oh my god. Man, like, H.P. Lovecraft looks super weak. How is he gonna fight the vampire when the vampire eventually shows up? This is going to be in what, like 25 minutes? 28, whatever. You gotta love these, The vampire tightens his satanic grip. The actual shadows of executed convicts become their slaves, and even living beings can be forced under this terrible command. The vampire, which has complete control over its victim, tries every possible way to drive him to suicide. For whoever takes his own soul is lost to him eternity. I think that's what that said. I saw eternity. Went by a little too fast. Okay. Oh, is the vampire finally here? Oh, I heard like a woman like chanting or some shit. That's what it sounded like. I don't know. Or was he? Ah, something's happening, guys. Doors are opening by themselves. Man, this movie has a 7. This movie has a 7.5 out of 10 on Google. Jesus Christ. I know you kind of gotta look at movies like... I know back in the day this was probably a great movie, but still, man, holy fuck. And by the way, color films were already a thing. When this movie came out. Oh, we got a skeleton holding a poison bottle. We know the bottle's poison because there's a skull and crossbones on it. Yeah, we should probably put your arm back in your coat sleeve. We want people to think you're a fucking heroin junkie. Oh no, the lady that was bitten by the vampire is gonna drink that poison. Gulp, 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 gulp. Okay, why did he push the doctor away? Maybe because he was in the way? I don't know. Ah, shit. There's only like... There's less than 15 minutes left in the movie, but I need to piss. I mean, there's only less than 15 minutes left. I can hold it. More shadow play. I love how I wouldn't watch, like, you know, sleazy P. Martini's commentary for the 1960s film Creature from the Black... No, it's 1950s film Creature of the Black Lagoon, but I'm gonna do this. Well, it's a thing where I have seen Creature of the Black Lagoon, so it's like, man, I don't want to watch the movie again. Like, even with sleazy P. Martini's commentary. Sister, are you sure? Are you sure about that? He calls the non-sister. Are you sure? Reminds me of that John Cena meme. Are you sure about that? You know, it probably is an old lady, and it just doesn't look like, I don't know. What's going on here? His soul's leaving his body? Huh? Okay. The only way to fight the vampire if is with astral projection. uh, he learned that from Doctor Strange. Well, I guess Doctor Strange didn't exist at this point. Doctor Strange was created when? Like in the 70s or 60s? I don't know. Man, those old, like... Oh, what the fuck? He found his corpse? In the coffin? He thought he was gonna find the vampire, but he found his body in there? What? If my body's here, then what was on that park bench? Oh, the lady's all tied up. Oh, he can't open the door because he's an astral projection. Well, I guess he's not an actual projector. He's a ghost or some shit. Oh, there was a key in so the door was locked. Okay, there was a key in that. What was that, like a grandfather clock? It's hard to tell what shit is in these like these old black and white films because they're so like, you know, it's such a shitty picture, right? Was that, I don't know if that, you know, is the BitChute video or what, but I'm assuming it's like the fact that this is a 1930s film. Apparently this movie has a Criterion release. I wonder if they you know, clean up the obviously probably didn't do a 4K restoration, but I wonder if they, you know, clean up the film a bit. Who knows? Oh, it's the peg-legged French soldier. We gotta remind ourselves that this is supposed to be a French town. You would think you lose a leg, you would be able to be discharged from the military. Not in World War One, you couldn't. Oh, you lost your leg below the knee? Well, we'll just put a peg leg on you. You can still fight. Holy fuck. They're not gonna close his eyes? Like, no respect for the dead. Like, yeah, we'll put you in your coffin. Well, your eyes open. You're dead. You don't care. Maybe he's drugged. I don't know. Man, that doctor really pissed off that he pushed them. He shoved them out of the way. Did he like drug him and then like is burying him alive? That would be funny. Who the fuck is that? Oh, is that the vampire? because the vampire is supposed to be an old lady, right? Okay. So I guess we were the vampires all along. That's the only way this ending makes any fucking sense. Oh, it's like the fucking cannibal Holocaust film. We were who were the cannibals? Us or them? Maybe we were the cannibals the entire time. It's like, oh fucking hell! Well, that was so dumb. I never watched Cannibal Holocaust, but I don't know. I feel like after watching Brad Jones, the Cinema Snobs review, I don't need to see Cannibal Holocaust. How fucking crazy is the star of that film? Was in the Debbie Does Dallas porno film, and he's starring in like fucking films, man. I guess back then in the 70s nobody gave a shit. Yeah, that's crazy to me. That'd be like if James Dean, the porn actor, would the star in like, you know, a fucking big budget, you know, horror film or whatever, or American film. Okay, so he's back. He's back alive. What the fuck is going on? Well, maybe he had a vision of the future or some shit. He just woke up from the park bench. I don't fucking know. That dude's opening like a stone slab, like coffin? Is that where the vampire lives? Oh, it's like, I don't know. There are two. Is that stairways? This is the grainiest of the film. It's hard to tell what the fuck's going on. He's just pulling out 2x4s out of the fucking tomb. We need to hide all this. We need to hide the lumber in this tomb, because all the fucking rednecks that like come to the lumber yard keep stealing our shit. We gotta hide them in the fucking tomb. Oh my god. I knew a guy who said like his dad would take him and his brother, and they would go look for like construction sites, and would like after when the construction guys leave, they would show up and steal the shit and then sell them to like to lumber lords and shit. So they would steal the wooden shit and like just sell it. It's like fucking what the fuck. It was like the 80s or whatever, so they didn't have like, you know, like security cameras and shit. And there was like a oh, they killed the vampire. There was like actually a construction site near my near where I walked my dog at night, and we would like my dog, we would like walk past this construction on the street where this construction site is, where they have this empty lot, and that's where my dog like the poop and shit was on the side of the grass there. And one night, I'm waiting forever for my dog to like to do her business, and people just at night would show up to the construction site to look around, and they would have bags and shit on them to look around, man. And it was like, it totally reminded me. And there was like no security guards and no security cameras at this like empty lot where they had like construction shit. So it was like, it totally reminded me of those stories like that that one dude told me of him and his dad taking him and his brother out to steal shit. So it's like I was worried for me and my dog. Like, oh, are these guys going to get pissed off? Like waiting for me and my dog to leave so they could rob shit. Did that fucking tomb say Chopin? Chopin, like the fucking musician? Oh my god. So yeah, I was like, fuck it, dog. You wait until the morning to poop. So I took her and went. Cause they would drive off and then come back, wait like 5 minutes or whatever, and come back. So I'm like, or whatever. So they kept coming back like multiple times to see if we were see us and then leave. So I was like, I took the hint like, oh, they're waiting for us to leave before they steal shit. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm not gonna get stabbed or some bullshit. So what? The ghost of the vampire is pissed off at the doctor. Oh shit. How did he die? He just fell down the stairs. the ghost of the vampire pushed him down the stairs. So what? Like the ghost of the vampire is killing off her henchmen because they failed to protect her from H.P. Lovecraft. I guess that's what's going on. I don't fucking know. So I wasn't paying attention. The doctor ran off. Is that a what is that? A windmill? A clock tower? What's with all the machinery, all the gears and shit? The doctor kind of, is it just me or the doctor kind of looks like Albert Einstein? I don't know. Okay. Let me guess, that door's gonna lock behind him. He's gonna be trapped. Yep. Okay. And the gears are starting to turn. Okay. So what, he's getting buried alive in like grain or some shit? I have no idea what's going on. Ironic, he tried to bury H.P. Lovecraft alive. Now he himself is being buried alive. I'm still a little confused, like, on what the fuck happened with that. Because it looked like they were going to bury H.P. Lovecraft alive. And then the character, the guys holding the, they passed by the park bench that like H.P. Lovecraft was at, and then the people holding the coffin disappeared, and like H.P. Lovecraft reappeared on the fucking park bench. It's like, what the fuck happened with that? Trying to think of how many people died in this horror film again? 3 people? Maybe, well, if you include the vampire, at least 4. So I get, yeah. At least 4. I love the happy music that's playing right now as the old doctor is like dying and like H.P. Lovecraft's like walking away into the sunset with the sluts. What the fuck? Slut Gloria film? That must mean slut must mean something in German. Like, what the fuck? Maybe that that must mean something different than what. Should I look up what slut means in German? Who cares? Who cares? Maybe it meant like, oh, that's the end of the film or whatever. Oh my god. Well, that's the movie wasn't exactly an hour and 15 minutes, but whatever. Yeah. So I don't know. It started to pick up, you know, at the end there. Not as much shadow play. Interesting. Like, not as much shadow play stuff that people, like, you know, talked, like, you know, hyped up in the film. But, you know, it was still a decent film. Still a decent film. I enjoyed it. But if I wasn't doing, like, well, if I wasn't attempting to do funny commentary for this film, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed the film as much. But you know, is what it is. What other stuff did this director made? He made The Passion of Joan of Arc, The Ordette, Day of Wrath, Gertrude, Master of the House. Died in 1968. Okay. I don't know. I probably won't be checking out his other films, to be honest. To be honest. Well, that's it for this audio commentary, guys. I gotta go to bed and I gotta take a wicked piss. So I hope you enjoyed this commentary. Maybe we'll sit down and watch Nosferatu, even though, you know, I've seen the, you know, Werner Herzog version, so I really don't really need to see the original Nosferatu. But I don't know, maybe we will. I don't know. That's it, guys. Peace.